Hey, Vsauce, Zombie Purist here. So today I'm coming at you all with a new video. So what we got going in the background is a bit of Cheese Cube Unlimited gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy that. Me and my bro Evan had an awesome time on this map. Great fun. If you guys haven't tried it, give it a shot. And it's kind of that old school tower defense zombies feel. I love this map to death. We played for 4 hours, didn't get bored of it once. But let's get on to the topic of today's video. It's something that's kind of died down a little bit, but I still feel passionately about it. It's this whole Zombies Chronicles fiasco. Now, before I get into it, I want to say I respect developers for all their hard work. Remastering maps is probably crazy difficult. It takes one mapper years in the custom community to do something like that. So I completely and utterly respect the developers, but it is a paid piece of DLC, my friends, which means that if you're paying for something, you can critique it. And I don't know where this whole idea that Treyarch is our daddy came from. I get on the Reddit and I almost see that in its entirety. Everyone is worshipping Blundell as if he's their, Jesus Christ, the second father or something. Guys, I'm sorry, but that's not the case. Blundell didn't die for your sins, and he's definitely not going to come to your 13th birthday party and throw the football with you, okay? They are a business. They make business-oriented decisions. And a $30 DLC is not a gift. I don't know how many times I need to get into a comment section and tell people this, but a $30 DLC is not a gift, guys. So you gotta treat it like a piece of content that you're paying real world money for. I don't know why people seem to think that, oh, they didn't have to do this, they're just doing it because they love the community. I think it's because people love Treyarch so much. If Activision did this with Infinity Ward, they wouldn't get away with it. I made the metaphor the other day for Infinite Warfare and COD 4 Remastered. I mean, that's almost the same thing as this game right here. You paid an extra $20 to $30 for COD 4 Remastered with Infinite Warfare, and people got effing pissed. People got so pissed at that idea that you had to have the original to play COD 4 Remastered, and everybody hated that. But literally, Treyarch is doing the same thing, guys. Come on, let's start connecting the dots here. You have to buy Call of Duty Black Ops 3 first, which is a $60 game, to play Zombies Chronicles. So, it's the exact same thing. COD 4 Remastered, you have to buy Infinite Warfare first. Let's say you only want Zombies Chronicles. Sorry, it's not a standalone. You gotta pay $60 for the first game, and then you can pay $30 for 8 remastered maps that we've already played before. If Treyarch was confident in their new content, they wouldn't have had to make Zombies Chronicles. I can guarantee you it's not because they love us so much that they gave us this. Black Ops 3 Zombies was doing so bad that they said, okay, people, we got to do something about this. We got to make another content. We got to just repackage these old maps. Because Activision wouldn't have said yes. If Black Ops 3 Zombies was wildly successful, like Black Ops 1 or World at War, Activision would have said, there's no problem here. What are you complaining about? We have Infinite Warfare Zombies we gotta sell. We don't want two competing products. Now Zombies Chronicles released, and then nobody cares about Infinite Warfare Zombies anymore. But Activision said yes, probably because Zetsubu no Shima and Gorod Krovi all probably started doing bad, and that's when they started making the maps again. And then, of course, Revelations was terrible, too, and left a sour taste in everybody's mouth, and that just encouraged Treyarch to just make sure that they're going to be remaking all of the maps for that DLC. I don't think they have confidence in their storyline or their characters either. The old characters were funnier. People, I think, liked them more. The new characters are just very cut and dry. I find them to be super dull and boring. Talking about how they're supposed to save the universe, and there's some Italian name for their cruise even. I don't think they have confidence in their storyline. I don't think they have confidence in their characters. So they had to just remake this stuff. And of course, it's Jimmy Zielinski's stuff. Let me remind you all, Jimmy Zielinski had the original formula, and that was the most successful. And look where we are, everybody. We're replaying Jimmy Zielinski's maps for the 10th year in a row. If you guys don't think at this point that Jimmy Zielinski was the head honcho of zombies and that he knew what he was doing more than anybody else, if they're even going to go and remake Jimmy Zielinski's maps 3 times now, guys, 3 times, World at War, Black Ops 1, and now in Black Ops 3, you know he's doing something right. Now here's the problem that I have with these remastered maps. They're not a full remaster, okay? I can't list off all the weapons that were left out, but let's go over a couple. At launch, 74U was left out, M1911 was left out, M14 was left out. Basically, all the explosive weapons were left out, all the shotguns, your Spaz 12s, your H10s or whatever those dual shotguns were, which were pretty badass. All of those were left out at the beginning. HKs, RPKs, all of the Cold War era stuff was left out. Now there's a couple things that they're bringing back, but it's still mostly Black Ops 3 guns. I was saying that that's not a full remaster in a comment section the other day, and someone said that it would take up too much memory on the disc. Are you freaking kidding me? Black Ops 3 already takes up like 90 gigs of my PS4 without Zombies Chronicles. With Chronicles, I'm sure it's going to be another 30 gigs. I mean, if you're going to be spending that much disk space on Call of Duty, then you could spare another, what, 5 gigs for weapons? I mean, come on. It's just a little bit extra work to port over the weapons. Look at all these custom maps that have all these guns that just replaced the guns in Black Ops 3. It's not that hard to do. But you want to know what is hard to do? Coughing up the money. They don't want to cough up the money for the gun rights, because those are actual guns, and they have to pay the people who made those guns and have the rights to those guns to use them in the game, and to use their likeness, to use their sound bites. I don't think a lot of people in the COD community know that. It's not about this disk space. It's about the gun rights, the licensing, and the money, okay? That's my reason why I don't like this, is that it's not a full remaster. Okay, next, the reason it's not a full remaster is that there's gobblegums as well. And of course, you know, I've talked about gobblegums like crazy at this point, but they ruined the challenge of the maps. Zielinski had the certain prices on the doors, you know, the cost of Pack-a-Punch was a certain price. And of course, you don't have to use gobblegums, you know, whatever. But if you're on Nocturne Toten and you have 3 other people using a gobblegum, you know, to pack-a-punch their guns from the box or from the wall, it's going to change your experience, even if you don't do it. You could get your friends to play, but they could just do it anyway either. You know, you could say, okay guys, we're not going to use gobblegums. And what's to stop them? It's right there, it's 500 points. And you just get all the perks on the map, you know, just F you, man. I'm just going to play the map how I want to play it. Phoenix up, shopping free, all of this, it just ruins the flow of these maps. What's the point of even putting doors there? What's the point of the challenge of zombies being you're back against the wall and having to survive until you have enough money to run away from them? If you can just open, you know, every door on the map for free to begin with. It's freemium. I don't know if you guys realize this, but gobblegums are just freemium, you know, pay-to-win methodologies in Call of Duty Zombies. It's pretty sad. The next thing that I think ruins these maps is the aesthetic aspect. The lighting and colors have changed dramatically. They've changed the round changing music. There's literally Zetsubu no Shima music on not Shangri-La, on what's that one? Shinonuma. They have Zetsubu no Shima music on Shinonuma, Buried music on Kino der Toten, and the Moon round change music just sounds like Looney Tunes the Space Jam edition. It's just like bizarre, honestly. I know that they want to make the maps unique and give them their own round change music, but back in Black Ops 1, World at War, you had the kind of awesome guitar riff sounding thing. It's very dark, it's gritty. It gives the maps a sense of, you know, spookiness almost. And now you have the kind of, you know, dumb sounding Buried music on Kino. It ruins the aesthetic. And then of course the colors on the maps are just turned up to 11. They decided the gamma whatever wasn't high enough, so they had to, you know, get their design artists, people just throw a bunch of colors on the screen, because that's what the COD kids want these days. Woo! A bunch of colors on the screen. So, you know, now we have these little golden statues that weren't there before. It doesn't look like a decrepit, decaying zombies theater. It looks, you know, like it was just recently renovated and just, you know, there happen to be zombies there. And Moon, of course, also used to be very kind of gray and dark. And people, you know, say, oh, that's boring, gray and dark. But hey, listen to me. That's what makes the zombies maps feel scary, okay? It's not supposed to be colorful and bright and whatever. There can be a couple maps like that, that's fine. But even if it's turned down a notch from what maybe real life looks like, that gives you this feeling of dread and unease. Like, especially with Ascension, the black and white felt very good on Black Ops 1, and now the black and white isn't even really that stark in Black Ops 3. You can still see, you know, the reds and the blues or whatever of the map, and it just, everything is kind of toned down in terms of keeping it spooky, keeping it creepy, and everything's turned up in terms of making everything bright and colorful. And I think that's a shame to do that to the maps. And speaking of aesthetic, we have Kino der Toten changing the swastikas all to red crosses because of this whole PC nonsense or whatever. And let me just address that for a second. And censorship in gaming, I'm completely against it. I think that art deserves its place. I think, well, underage, you know, dressing, whatever, in gaming from Japan, those guys are nut jobs. They should really cover up that stuff because, you know, we have little girls that need, you know, to be sexualized. I don't know why Japan thinks that's okay. But in terms of swastikas or whatever, Germany just freaking own up to it, okay? They did something terrible, you know, 60 years ago. Just build a bridge, get over it. It's a piece of artwork in a video game, okay? So they classify that it's allowed in art, and so we should be allowing it in video games. And I'm tired of Treyarch doing this whole Red Cross thing in these later maps in Black Ops 3 because of that exact fact. They had to change the storyline to be some stupid, you know, oh, World War I, Germany won. I don't buy that bullshit for a second, everybody. They wanted to make Call of Duty Nazi zombies again in Black Ops 3, and freaking because of this whole PC nature of whatever, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it because they had to toe the line and they had to respect Germany's laws or whatever. I saw a comment on YouTube the other day like, who are they going to offend, the freaking Nazis? I mean, they're gone, they're dead and gone, and Germany's, you know, paid for what they've done. So let us make video games, let us make art about it, you know, enough with the censorship. It changes the feeling of the maps. The story is completely different because now you're not fighting Nazi zombies. You're fighting some fictitious World War I, World War II German soldiers. It just doesn't fit. And last but not least, the gameplay changes. The maps fundamentally will play differently if there are gameplay changes. And a couple of those are, of course, pretty big. The PhD flopper isn't in these maps. That's, you know, a really big deal. But, of course, they added the slide into this game. So I don't know why they could just add the code, maybe, but whatever. PhD flopper's not in there. On Moon, apparently, Jug doesn't turn on the Earth before you go up to the Moon, or neither does Pack-a-Punch. And that to me makes absolutely no sense. That was a big part of the original map, is being able to Pack-a-Punch or get Jug before you even go to the Moon and start the next round. But now you have Gobblegums anyway, so you don't even need Jug on Earth. You can just get all your perks for free. That changes the gameplay fundamentally, in my opinion. You have other maps where, you know, the attachments that you get when you upgraded the guns are now different. The M16 used to have a grenade launcher on it back when it was Pack-a-Punched, but now it just doesn't. Why? Well, who knows? I just want your money, and it didn't feel like it. So, just to recap what we've gone over today, please, for the love of God, just stop treating Treyarch like family. It's starting to get a little bit creepy. $30 for something isn't a gift. They made these maps for a reason. Infinite Warfare did something very similar. Why are we giving them a double standard? It's not a full remaster. Gobblegums ruined the map. Lightings and colors have changed. and gameplay changes have fundamentally made this map pack a no-buy for me, and I'll stick to the old maps with crazy good support from the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 mod community. I will enjoy those maps the way Jimmy Zielinski wanted me to play them. This is the Zombie Purist. Thanks for listening, everybody. Subscribe if you want more. Peace!